All right. Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Rogue Valley, and Unity Church in Medford. We'd like to invite you to stand up for our opening song, In the Light, in the Love, in the Glory.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am.
Sing it like you mean it.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am.
That means you.
I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am.
Woo!
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am.
Okay, we're going for we this time.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. We are.
Woo! Together.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. We are.
Yay! Great job, everyone.
Good morning. How are you? Very good. That's what I want to hear. Fantastic. So I'm Reverend Stephanie, and welcome to CSL Rogue Valley in partnership with Unity Medford. Reverend Kimberly's away today on retreat, so you got me, for better or for worse. And it's my honor, really, it's truly my honor to be presiding this morning. We have work to do. I know you've heard that before somewhere, but we have work to do, and I mean inner work to do today. So we are an inclusive, spiritually progressive faith community, and we welcome each of you, no matter where you may be, on your personal spiritual journey. If you're here for the first time, we want to offer you a very special welcome. Would you raise your hands so we can recognize you? Reverend Kimberly always says we won't follow you home. Well done, very brave, thank you very much, welcome. Give this gentleman a clap. So if you keep your hand up, you'll get an ambassador will come through and give you a packet, thank you, a welcome packet. So our musicians this morning are, we have a treat in store. We have Anton Miserak, we have Laura Berryhill, and Andy Anderson. Woo, Andy's there. Thank you for being here. All right, and who else have we got? So we've got Carol Wythe. She's the practitioner sitting behind me here. She's going to be doing our invocation and also our reading. And we have Reverend Kim Bibo, who is currently doing the High Watch for us. She's praying for everybody who's here present this day, including the people who are watching on the live stream. And she also facilitated a wonderful meditation for us this morning. So thank you, Reverend Kim. A quick reminder to please turn off your cell phones if you haven't already, or put them in airplane mode. And let's take a collective deep breath together now. Just really get here, get present. And let's allow the music to take us inward as we prepare for our invocation. And as usual, please hold your applause at the end of the music, and Carol, our practitioner, will take us directly into prayer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
There's only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one. There is only one.
Thank you, too. And let us go to that place that Anton and Laura just sang about, where we are one with the all that is. We are one because there is only one. We are divine emanations, individualized expressions of that love, that light, that beauty that is everywhere present. And as we leave everything that came before at the door and come into this place of divine consciousness of the one that we are, that the love that is inside of us, it can't not be inside of us, because that created us is love, is light, is peace, is harmony, is joy. It eradicates fear and says to each and every one of us in its own way, I am and you are perfect just as you are, in love and light and peace. And I know this day that Reverend Kimberly and these beautiful musicians already creating that incredible place of connection. Reverend Stephanie gives us tools with which to take this work home and become and embody and be the truth that we are, the love that we are, the peace that we are. We cannot be anything else. And when we come to that reality and consciousness, we will have peace on the face of this earth, because it's God in form. And for this and so much more, for all the people and all the hands bringing this service to us, I just say thank you, God. Deep gratitude for the opportunity that we have to come together, to be conscious of each other, to see God in everything that we see, in every face, in every breath. Thank you, dear Heavenly Mother God, Source Energy, Infinite Light, for this incredible world that we live in. And please join me in saying, and so it is. In keeping with the concept of oneness, I have chosen for my reading Living in the Infinite Way by Joel Goldsmith, just an excerpt from that. And it goes like this. It's on page 120 and 121. And I'm going to have to take off my glasses because I can't see. Once we come to the realization that God's grace is our sufficiency, we are living a life of continuous meditation. We pray without ceasing, and yet never do we desire anything, tell God of any need, or try to influence God in any way. There is no strain because we're not trying to accomplish or acquire anything. In the realization that the grace of God, which has peopled this earth and has filled it with all good things for man's use, is our sufficiency in all things. We are in a state of continuous sufficiency. The wisdom which is God is of God is our sufficiency. The love which is of God and which meets every need of this earth is our sufficiency. Our only need is the realization of the nature of God and God's government. Beyond that, we need nothing. It is far better to have that realization of the sufficiency than to have an entire world of fame and fortune, because that realization is the source and multiplier of loaves and fishes, appearing as health, wealth, companionship, and recognition. It is our sufficiency. Whatever the immediate need may be, the presence of God is the fulfillment of that need. In our ignorance, we as individuals have become separated from the actual experience of God. And so we must ask God to reveal itself. We ask for wisdom, we ask for light, for grace, but that's all. We must ask, that's all, and that form of prayer is wisdom. But the prayer which is a petition beseeching God for supply, security, or peace is foolishness in the sight of God. Supply, security, and peace are the gifts freely given of God, only with the bringing of ourselves into harmony with it. To review the nature of God's work on earth and to realize that there is an infinite wisdom and a divine loving love governing this universe will bring such great feelings of peace that we may well wonder what could have given us concern. The mere statement that God is finite wisdom and divine love will not be of any great help or value. There must be within us, each of us, an actual experience of an inner awareness which comes as a result of contemplation of God, as Reverend Stephanie is about to bring to us this morning. And so it is.
Light your lamp and pass it let it shine for everyone, so we all may know, and we all may see that we are one great family. Light your lamp and pass it on. Let it shine for everyone, so we all may know, and we all may see that we are one great family.
Thank you. Thank you, Anton and Laura. Wonderful. Right, so if you're an American living in America in October 2024, you've probably got one thing that's uppermost on your mind. What are you going to wear for your Halloween costume? Just kidding, just kidding. So I listened to Reverend Kimberly's talk from last week. She was telling you about the benefits of tithing. So the more that you give your 10% to the place where you get spiritually fed from, and then your own income starts to multiply. So I've increased my tithing, and I think you should up yours. And I'd like to blame my husband, Reverend Jim Hatton, for that offensive joke. He taught me. He's right here in the audience. He came today with my dear friend from LA, Lorene. She's here too, so thank you very much for coming, both of you. All right, so the title today is Peace, Prosperity, and the Power of Love. And my intention for us today is to have an experience. So as Carol read at the end of the reading there's no point chanting off affirmations if you don't have the experience. You've got to know it deep in your bones that it's the truth. And I'm going to be working with you and looking at how can we align with the spiritual principles that we teach here at CSL. So spiritual principles, I mean love, harmony, oneness, peace, inclusivity, truth, freedom, wholeness. Those are the spiritual principles that we aim to espouse here. And how can we use those principles or align with those principles to become a beneficial presence in America right now? And if we're a beneficial presence in America, we're a beneficial presence in the world. There's no separation. And I want us to become more of a beneficial presence because there's a lot of divisiveness out there right now. And I know it's coming at us from all sides, social media, TV, radio, wherever you get your information about what's happening in the world, we're being bombarded at the moment. So some of you who've been in classes, can I just see your hands up who's been in classes? In Science of Mind classes, I mean, here. Oh, nearly half of you, that's fantastic. So you might remember how we start a spiritual mind treatment. And spiritual mind treatment, for those of you who are new here, is the name that we give to the affirmative prayer that we do in this Science of Mind teaching. So as Carol mentioned in the reading, there is no begging or beseeching an outside God. We are praying to know the truth about ourselves, to know the truth that we are individualized versions of God. So I'm going to practice a little bit with you. We're going to do a call and response. Who was raised Catholic? Then you'll be familiar with the call and response. So it's going to be slightly different from the Catholic setup. So I'm going to do the first step of the spiritual mind treatment, And then I'm going to ask you to do the second step. And the first step is, there's one power, it is love. And then you're going to say, I am love. And then I'm going to do another treatment. There's one power, it's harmony. And then you're going to say, perfect, you got it. All right, so let's practice that. And you might want to do it with your eyes closed so that you're really feeling it when you say it. Okay, there's one all-embracing spirit. It's the power of love. Okay, I'm the power of love, or I am love, yeah. There's one power, and it's harmony. There's one power, and it's pure wholeness. Good. There's one power, and it is truth. Good. There's one power, and it's peace. Good. All right, let me just see. You can open your eyes now. How's it feeling to say it? Are you feeling that it's that it's the truth of your being, actually? Yeah. And that's the truth that you and I want to embody as we play our role in this current evolution that's happening in America. I want to tell you a story about a place on the map which has an ancient hatred, and that place is Israel. And I went to Israel for the first time in 2004. I am going to talk about the election, but for now I'm just going to take you on a journey to Israel, and then we'll come back to America and what's going on with the elections. So in 2004, I went to Israel, and I met up with some spiritual healers from America. And they introduced me to a man called Ibrahim Abu al-Hawa. And he was the spiritual leader of the Palestinians. And he and I had an amazing rapport, and I decided to go back and visit him in 2007. And I had no idea, this was purely divine intuition, I had no idea that in 2007, August, that there would be a sulha just outside Jerusalem. And a sulha is a community peacemaking process. It's an Arabic word for community peacemaking. So Ibrahim and his fellow cohorts in the interfaith group in the Holy Land, the Abrahamic Reunion, so a group of Muslims, Jews, and Christians, they all worked together as an interfaith community. They had organized the sulha, and they had invited Jews and Palestinians and people like me. We were called the internationals. So the sulha was held on a kind of some rough ground just outside a Trappist monastery in Jerusalem. And going into the grounds, everybody was checked for guns, because there was obviously, even though it was a peacemaking project, there was the possibility that some people might come with guns. So everyone came in, no guns, and we were divided into groups of about, say, 12 people in each group. And in each group there were Muslims, Jews, Christians, and internationals. And every group had a facilitator. The facilitator was trilingual, so they could speak Arabic, Hebrew, and English. And every day for about 5 days, we met in our groups, and we were answering questions such as, how is life for you in the Holy Land? What's your experience? And so I heard Jews and Arabs speaking with each other about their experience of living in the Holy Land and how life was for them. And I heard Jews say things like they were raised from early childhood to know that a good Palestinian is a dead Palestinian, which is, so you can imagine being inculcated with that kind of conditioning from early childhood. How could you see a Palestinian any differently? Or the only way to see a Palestinian is through the scope of your gun. Just very violent conditioning. So what happened was, due to the really wonderful skills of the facilitator, the Jews and the Palestinians got to really listen to each other for the first time, possibly the first time in their entire lives, possibly the first time that they'd even been close to each other. For the Palestinians, being in the Jewish world wasn't such an issue. Palestinians typically work in Jewish homes or in Jewish businesses. They work in the Jewish sections of the city. But for the Jews to be in the world of the Palestinians, that was a very rare thing. It was actually a gift. So on the last day, the closing ceremony was such that we were asked to be in concentric circles. And the internationals went first, and there were about 30 international people. We were asked to be in the center, and so we made a circle in the center and we faced outwards. And then the Jews were invited to come and make a circle around the internationals, and they were also asked to face outwards. And then lastly, the Palestinians were asked to come and make a circle around the Jews, and they were asked then to face inwards. So every Palestinian was looking at a Jew. And then the facilitator announced over the loudspeaker, after a short prayer, that the Palestinians and the Jews should begin to look into each other's eyes. And the internationals were just asked to hold the space. And at first, they were like looking away, and they didn't want to follow the instructions. So even after 5 days of communicating and learning to understand each other's reality, they still didn't want to be vulnerable and look into the eyes of another human being and realize there was no difference, there was no separation. So it took some time to encourage them to do that, and finally they began to look into each other's eyes. The next step was the facilitator asked, now Palestinians, please take one step to your left. So the Palestinians then had to start to move around the circle. And after taking one step to their left, of course, they were looking in the eyes of a different Jew. And then about 7 times, the facilitator said, take a step to the left, take a step to the left, take a step to the left, so that each Palestinian and each Jew had the experience of looking into the eyes of the so-called enemy. It was around the 7th time, I don't remember exactly when, but 2 women, a Jewish woman and a Palestinian woman, they crossed the bridge and they hugged each other. It was the most beautiful moment to see these people who'd been enemies, that they were actually hugging and also crying. You can imagine to be in that space of love and then to have their release from years and years and years of pain, not just pain in their lifetime, but ancient pain that had been inherited through their ancestors. This is thousands of years of hostility and enmity in the Holy Land. And at that point, those 2 people, they were like the 100th monkey. It's like they broke it. They broke the ice, and suddenly everyone was hugging, and everyone was crying, and everyone was crossing the aisle and forming a bridge. And it was the most beautiful experience of love being expressed in that area where there was such hatred in the past. So now, for me, when I watch the news and I see what's happening in Israel, I have that experience. I know the truth about the true relationship between Jews and Palestinians. I know the truth about that. I've experienced it, I've witnessed it, I felt it in my body. I felt the release and I felt the love overflowing. So, very moving experience, something I'll never forget, and I'm very grateful to be able to share it with you today. And now to the election. So we don't have a history of ancient hatred in America, do we? No, not really. No, we have a history of maybe hating the British. With good cause, I might add. I remember when I was studying history in school, I was about 14 or 15, and we were studying the American Revolution. I think I shared this in a previous talk, but I'll never forget. My teacher presented the issues with the new settlers in America and the British monarch, King George III. And she said, for homework, I want you to write a letter, and you can take either side, whichever side you want to take. You can take the side of the British monarch and tell the settlers why they should fall in line and just be obedient and surrender and pay their taxes. Or you can take the position of the settlers and write to the British monarch and say, hey, we're not going to pay our taxes. We're the ones that are settling in this land. We're the ones that want self-government. You can do what you want to go. You'll do what you want to do, but we're not going to be obedient to you anymore. So guess which one I picked? The irreverent Reverend, of course, I picked the role of the American settlers. And I did not want to be dominated by the British monarch. So I completely understand why the Americans would want to break away from England, and I think you did a very good job. Well done. But what's fascinating for me is that this country had no precedent of the kind of democracy that you have here now. Had no precedent. This was the way that the Declaration of Independence was written and the Constitution. This was a result of prayerful consideration and prayerful contemplation and prayerful conversation. This was something brand new that was being brought onto the face of the planet that had never happened before. Self-government, what a concept. There was no, it's amazing to me that this is how the American Constitution evolved. And I get it, there was rebellion and there was resistance and all of that. But this Constitution was a document founded, as far as I'm concerned, in the Spirit. What other country has a guiding document or a foundational document founded in the Spirit? Only America, as far as I know. Isn't that amazing? That your document that founded your country is in alignment with spiritual principles. So promoting the freedom of everybody, promoting the well-being of everybody, promoting the prosperity for everybody, promoting joy and happiness for everybody. That is your government. That's what is, I say your because I'm not an American yet. I'm getting there. I'll be able to apply for my citizenship starting in February next year. So, yeah, I'm really delighted. Yeah, I can't vote yet, but yeah. And what this is an experiment in democracy, because this kind of government has never happened before. So there's no real guidelines or rules or set pattern that this evolution of democracy can follow. It's all about consciousness. It's all about consciousness, that's it. So you and I, those of us who are really choosing to live our lives along spiritual principles, in alignment with spiritual principles, we are the leading consciousness in this country right now. We're the leading consciousness, and I don't say that with any kind of arrogance. It's just true as far as I understand it, because we know that love is the only thing that works. It's never going to work to have division and enmity and hostility. It's never going to work to have these kind of arguments. No side will ever win. So, and the work really does happen on the inner level. I remember my spiritual teacher, my first spiritual teacher of Science of Mind, said to me, there'll be wars as long as people need wars to find out that wars don't work. And I think that's true. And then I also thought today, as I was preparing to speak, that there's another element here, and that is that if I know peace is truth, the truth of my being, and you know peace is the truth of your being, where two or more are gathered, there we have a majority. Where two or more are gathered, there I am, there the Christ is. And the Christ consciousness, the spiritual truth of our being, is so much more powerful than any petty human squabbles. You and I, once we move out of that consciousness of separation, I'm other than, I'm separate from, it's easy to be there. I mean, that's how we're raised. We're raised that, you know, you look different from me, you have a different skin color, you have a different hair color, you have a different language, you have a different cultural background, you have different parents, you went to a different school. Differences on the human physical level. But on the inner level of consciousness, we're one. Can't always see it, but we can know it. We can know it. And I want to share with you the example of icebergs. So you know with an iceberg, you see 30% above the water and usually 70% is below the water. But the other thing about icebergs is often they're joined underneath. So you and I, if we compare our human experience of separation to the icebergs on top of the water that we can see, but then we look deeper and realize, oh, actually, there's more depth under the water. Those icebergs are actually joined under the water. So I've got a little example of how to see that. Ta-da! Here's one iceberg. Here's another iceberg. And, okay, look, you see, they're joined, you see? So you can see the sticky up bit of the hat, and you can see that they're joined at the brim. So remember that when you're thinking, these people are different from me or separate from me. No, no, no. We're joined at the deep level of consciousness. We're joined where we can't see. We're joined where we can't see, but we know that we're joined. We're one. Just happen to have a few witches' hats available. That's just a small representation of my large collection. All right, so how am I doing for time? I have no idea. Any clue about how I'm doing for time? I didn't look when I started. I don't know. Let's see.
You got plenty of time.
You think I've got plenty of time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, I hope so. Pardon me?
Do what you need to do.
Thank you, Morel. Thank you. All right, so I can't talk politics from the podium. Not can't, I could, but I'm choosing not to. And the Founding Fathers agreed that it would be helpful for church and state to be separated because they understood that if people are free to worship where they choose to worship, then that's going to encourage their freedom of expression, and that's what's important in the founding documents, freedom of expression. So if the state could mandate which church you needed to go to or which belief you needed to accept, there would be no freedom, right? So it's a good idea to have church and state separate as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not going to tell you how to vote. I'm not going to do that. Why would I? You have your experience, you have your knowledge, you have all the things you've learned in your lifetime. You've had your exposure to social media, news, history books. You will vote at the level of your consciousness. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. You can't vote any differently. You'll vote according to the inner dictate of your heart, according to what you think is the best candidate or party to vote for to take this country forward. So I'm going to suggest that before you go to the voting booths or before you send in your ballot, that you just pray, and ask to be used as an instrument of oneness, ask to be used as a beneficial force or a force for good in the entire election process, and that you ask not just like what's good for me or what's good for my family, but what's good for the whole, what's good for this entire country. Because when you align yourself with that idea of what's good for everybody, you're in alignment with the spirit of love. You're in alignment with the spirit of love. So your vote will be your voice, your power, your contribution to the next step in the evolution of America. Whatever you vote, whichever way you vote, it's fine. There's no judgment at all. You'll do what you need to do for you, and that'll be perfect for the whole. Okay, so my husband, Jim Hatton, is a wonderful writer. Some of you might be on his mailing list. When he writes his articles, he sends them out. And I wanted to read something that he wrote about one power, which I thought was really powerful, and we'll probably end on that. So this is a quote to start with from a wonderful teacher called Francis Lucille, who wrote a book called Truth, Love, Beauty. We've been taught to believe that this consciousness is personal and limited, and that each person is endowed with a private and separate consciousness, so that there are many consciousnesses. We have never considered that while it's easy to verify that two objects are separate, because it's possible to see their borders and limits, it's not possible to find any border or limit to consciousness. And Jim wrote, there was the key. Consciousness or awareness is non-physical. That's so important. Non-physical. So you and I can't see oneness when we're looking at other humans. We can't see oneness when we're looking at the TV and seeing the debate, the battles and the arguments and the horrible degrading of the other party going on. We can't see oneness there, but we know underneath oneness is real. Got to get my hats out again. So imagine this is the female candidate and this is the male candidate. They're one. They're one. They're one at the level of consciousness, like it or not. They're one. That's the truth of being. Now, it doesn't look like that on the physical level, I understand. But that's our work. That's what you and I have to know. These people are one. The female candidate is a divine being. The male candidate is a divine being. How could they not be one? How could they not be one? Now, their attitudes and their politics are really different. That's okay. Everyone's entitled to have an opinion. But our job is to know their oneness. So, carrying on with the article that Jim wrote, Consciousness or awareness is non-physical. There lies the oneness. There lies the oneness. In the physical world lies the experience of separateness. The oneness having no limits, no boundaries, no time, no space, no aspects of the physical, has to be one. All of the physical world, including our bodies, are individual expressions of the same source. How can you and I be one? We are certainly not one in body, personality, or actions, but who we really are is awareness or consciousness. That which looks through our eyes, that which observes the physical world, but is not the physical world, that which is aware, also known as the observer, is limitless, has no boundaries, and is timeless. This is our source, and in this source we find oneness. Thank you very much. So, we're going to pray. Oh, no, you're going to...
No, we're going to pray first.
Pray first, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so please join me in prayer. Let's take this into prayer now. So we turn aside now from everything that's been taking place here this morning, everything that's been going through our minds while we've been listening to the songs or listening to the talk, everything that's been on our minds that has nothing to do with this situation that we're in right now. We're bringing our minds to the still point of consciousness. We're bringing our minds to a place of peace, a place of remembering, a place of truth. We're acknowledging the one power, the one presence, the one life that is everywhere present. It is love, it is truth, it is harmony, it is wholeness, it is peace, it is joy, it is abundance, it is prosperity, it is the all in all. Omnipresence, omniscience, omnipotence, omni-activity. There is no place where this power is not. That would be impossible. We are all contained within the one. We are all living individualizations of the one. We are all of the qualities of the one embodied in unique, individualized forms. I know we are one in consciousness, always have been, always will be. We are here on this journey together, this journey of spiritual evolution. And I speak the word for all the beings here, even those who are watching on the live stream or who may watch on the live stream at a later time. We're all one in consciousness, one in the spirit. And I speak my word for these beings here, knowing that each one is a brilliant, light-filled, joy-filled, dynamic aspect of the spirit. Each one is a holy one, a god, a goddess. Each one is so much more than they have ever believed about themselves. Each one here is the one who has been sent as a messenger of peace. Each one here is the beloved of the Most High, God, Goddess. Each one here is the living image and likeness of pure divine love. No matter what they think about themselves, no matter what they've been told about themselves, I'm affirming and declaring the truth of being right here, right now. And I speak my word for our country, for America, and for the upcoming elections. And know that peace reigns supreme. Peace reigns supreme. For the government is upon the shoulders of the Christ. There is no human government. There is only the government of the Spirit. There is only the wisdom, the guidance, the love, the power of the Spirit. That is the truth. That is the ultimate reality with a capital R. And I know that each one here is a spiritual giant, leading the way in consciousness, leading the way as one who knows the truth, sees the truth, embodies the truth, and thereby makes a difference. Each one here is the living voice of God, the living eyes and ears of God, the living body of God, each one here is born to be here right now, right here, in order to carry human evolution forward. Each one is a messenger with a message of hope and peace and love. And so I know that the elections unfold with grace and ease, that voting is occurring now with peace, that the Spirit presides. The Spirit presides in all of the matters relating to the elections. There is nothing untoward here. The Spirit of love and peace is the power and the presence that guides and directs all these proceedings. And for this community, where there is any sense of lack or limitation, knowing that the abundant supply of the Spirit is the truth of being right now, where there is any sense of shortage or deficit, knowing that inexhaustible, infinite supply is the name and nature of our being, and where there is any sense of conflict or disharmony in our relationships, knowing right now that harmony and love are the order of the day. Harmony and love guide the way, lead the way forward. Harmony and love is in every word that is spoken, every word that is heard. And where there is any sense of illness or pain or disease or any kind of suffering at the level of the physical, declaring right now that divine wholeness is the power. Divine wholeness is the power. And every single cell of the body temple is now healed and whole. Every single cell functions in accordance with divine intelligence, mending, repairing, nurturing, nourishing every single cell. No cell is left out. This is an harmonious accord within the body temple. And I bless this community, CSL Rogue Valley, and all the CSL communities around the planet, and know that the light that shines here, the light that is carried from this place, is the healing light that spreads around the planet. How grateful I am for this truth spoken, for this word that has now gone forth as law in the universe. How grateful I am. I give my grateful thanks now. I release the word into law. I let it be, and so it is. Amen.
We're lucky to have a wonderful guest musician with us today, our beloved Andy. Special guest, Andy Anderson.
We're going to share with you a wonderful song, Laura, Anton, and myself. The song's entitled One Power, and it was written by a very good friend of mine. We go way back, Daniel Nahmod. So what I invite you to do is take his words as your own as we sang for you this wonderful song. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power invisible. And you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah. Angels' wings are heaven's door. Whatever name you give it, it's only one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love. That's you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget in the heart we're all the same. We remember once we close our eyes to see that differences were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashima, heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, it's your sign, Mother Earth, Father Time, but whatever name you give it, it's only one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love. There's you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, oh, one power, one power, oh, one power, one power, oh, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power.
One power,
One power,
one power,
one power,
one power.
It's the moment of creation, an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness, the sweetness of release. It's the power of inspiration, the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations, the boundless of space. It's the sweetness of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the abandon we abandon. It's love that is so deep. It's one power,
One power,
oh, one power,
one power,
oh, one power,
one power,
oh, it's one power,
one power,
oh, one power,
one power,
oh, one power,
one power.
oh, I said it's one power,
One
oh,
power,
one power,
one power,
one power,
one power.
It's the power of love that lives forever, you and me. It's the power of love in you and you and me. One power, one power,
One power,
one power,
one
one power,
power.
oh, one power. Ooh.
was a beautiful example of one power. 3 people harmonizing perfectly to produce a beautiful result. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. And just a quick share about that song. When I told my husband, Reverend Jim, about my topic, he said, "Oh, One Power would be a great song for your talk, to support your talk." And he said, "There's one person I know who could sing that really well, and that's Andy Anderson." And I said, "Oh, well, okay, yeah, great, but, Andy's not doing the music on the day that I'm speaking." But then Andy Anderson and his wife Bonnie came to dinner on Monday night, and I told them that I really would love to have One Power. And then Bonnie said to Andy, "Well, you were going to go anyway on Sunday to rehearse for next week, so you could sing One Power for Stephanie." And then we talked to Anton and Laura, and they said, "Great," and they were willing to harmonize and to work together. So that's what came out of today. That one seed thought, it would be great to have Andy sing One Power. But we got Anton and Laura as well. I mean, just got better all the time. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. All right, so now it's time to share our gifts. And there are donation envelopes available as you enter the sanctuary. And the ushers will have some donation envelopes with them as they come around with the baskets. So please prepare your gift right now, and if you need an envelope, you'll get one when the ushers come up. Also, plastic Benjamins are available for those who give regularly online. Oh, Kathy's she's holding up a plastic Benjamin. The plastic Benjamins are also at the front. Because some of you give online and really appreciate it, but when the basket comes around, then you're not giving anything into the basket. So the plastic Benjamin is a great idea, isn't it? Then you're giving hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars into the basket. It doesn't matter if it's plastic, it's symbolic. It's fine. All right, so shall we say our affirmation together before we pass the baskets? So you can repeat after me. Graciously I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed her grace on thee, and crown thy good with sisterhood from sea to shining sea.
So now it's time for our announcements. There's a lot, so bear with me. First, pledge cards for 2025 were distributed last week. Please pick one up at the back if you still need one. We'd like to have them returned by mid-November. So a pledge card, for those of you who are new to the community, if you choose, you can write an amount that you'd like to give on a monthly basis for the year, for 2025, or it can be a one-time amount. And just so take it home with you, pray about it, and see what amount feels right to you, knowing that in most experience here that people give a certain amount, but they always feel they can give more. So their amount is always more than what they pledge. So know that your prosperity will increase if you pledge. Okay, today after the service at 12 noon in the sanctuary is a drumming circle. The men's group meets tomorrow, Monday, at 11 a.m. The travel club event coming up is for ladies. It's a women's soak at Ashland Wellsprings. It's 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, that's Monday. And see Ellen Michaels. Ellen, put your hand up, thank you. Or Anita Streetman for details. There's a clothing drive for the homeless that we're running here from CSL Rogue Valley. So bring warm socks, scarves, gloves, and hats to be distributed to unhoused people along the Greenway on Christmas Day. There's a collection bin in Bosworth Hall. And we're doing a fundraiser, a shopping fundraiser at Shoefly store in Grants Pass at 4 o'clock on Friday, November the 1st. Some of you might know Jan Batagia. She's one of the congregants here, and she has a dress store in Grants Pass. So she'll give 10% of the proceeds back to CSL. It's a little fundraiser. And we get 10% discount if we're members of CSL Rogue Valley. And Kimberly wants to know if you want to carpool, please be in touch with her. Then our practitioners and ministers will be hosting a prayer vigil on Election Day. Isn't that great? Kimberly's wonderful idea to have a prayer vigil. It's from 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock on the 5th of November. So you can drop in at any time, whenever you'd like to participate in prayer and silent vigil for our national election. So I encourage you to come if you can, even if it's 10 minutes. Bring your presence here, say a prayer. That'll make a big difference. Anita Streetman will be offering a play shop on Sunday, November 17th after the service. You can create your own Thought for the Day jars for yourself or to give as a gift. Anita has a large collection of inspirational messages to choose from. She has room for 12 people who will each create 2 jars. All material is provided by Anita. She's asking a $10 donation to the center, so no-brainer. Please sign up as soon as you can. So the sign-up sheet will be out there in Bosworth Hall. Is Anita here? Oh, she's there. There she is, yeah. So you can see Anita afterwards if you want to get more information about that. You can sign up for our weekly e-newsletter here in Bosworth Hall on our website, or you can email us at cslroguevalley@gmail.com. And we have one prayer box in the back of the sanctuary. It's for CSL and Unity. And the CSL practitioners will pray all week if you want to put in a prayer request. The prayers will then be sent to Silent Unity at the end of each month. Or if you want to, you can submit prayers on our website. Again, cslroguevalley.org. Please join us after service in Bosworth Hall for refreshments and fellowship. Our wonderful chef, Michael Sunday, he's always got something delicious for us there. And I'd like to ask the practitioners to please come up and join me in the front for our closing song. And remember, practitioners are available for prayer. So if you feel like you need another prayer after all the prayer you got today, come and get one. Why not? You can never get enough prayer. It's infinite. All right, thank you very much. Let's have our...
Yeah, if you'd like to stand for our closing song, please. I am a light.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright.
You are a light.
You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world.